Welcome to Data Analytics using Microsoft Excel. What is data analytics? Most companies are collecting loads of data all the time, but in its raw form, this data doesn't really mean anything. This is where data analytics comes in. Data analytics is the process of analyzing raw data in order to draw out meaningful, actionable insights which are then used to inform and drive smart business decisions. We can think of data analytics as a form of business intelligence used to solve specific problems and challenges within an organization. Data analytics helps you to make sense of the past and to predict future trends and behaviors. What is the typical process that a data analyst will follow? Step 1. Define the questions you want to answer. The first step is to identify why you're conducting analysis and what questions or challenges you hope to solve. The second step is to collect the data. Data analysts will usually gather structured data from primary or internal sources. They may also turn to secondary or external sources such as open data sources. These include government portals, tools like Google Trends, and data published by major organizations such as UNICEF and the World Health Organization. Step 3. Clean the data. Your original data set may contain duplicates, anomalies, or missing data which could distort how the data is interpreted. So all this needs to be removed. Data cleaning can be a time-consuming task, but it's critical for obtaining accurate results. The fourth step is to analyze the data. How you analyze the data will depend on the question you're asking and the kind of data you're working with. But some common techniques include regression analysis, cluster analysis, time series analysis. We're going to look more into these techniques of data analysis as we're getting on. So the fifth step will be to visualize and share your finding. The final step in the process is where data is transformed into valuable business insights. Depending on the type of analysis conducted, you will present your finding in a way that others can easily understand in the form of chart or graph for an example. So let's look at the different types of data analysis or the different techniques of use in data analysis. The first one is regression analysis. This method is used to estimate or model the relationship between a set of variables. In this case, we normally have what is called the dependent and the independent variable. So when you are carrying out regression analysis, you try to discover the trend relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. You see more of this as we're getting on. Factor analysis. This technique helps data analysts to uncover the underlying variables that drives people's behavior and the choices they make. Cohort analysis. In cohort analysis, customers' data is broken up into smaller groups or cohorts. So instead of treating all customers' data the same, companies can see trends and patterns over time that relates to particular cohorts. In recognizing these patterns, companies are then able to offer a more targeted service. Cluster analysis. Cluster analysis enables you to see how data is distributed across a data state where there are no existing predefined classes or groupings. Then time series analysis. This is a collection of data at specific intervals over a period of time in order to identify trends and cycles, enabling data analysts to make accurate forecasts for the future. You will see how time series analysis will be used in a case study on unpaid gig work. So let's look at the two types of data that you might work with. One, quantitative data. This is essentially anything measurable. For example, the number of people who answered yes to a particular question on a survey or the number of sales made in a given year. Qualitative data, on the other hand, cannot be measured and comprises things like what people say in an interview or the text written as part of an email. So let's now look at the four types of data analysis, which are descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptives. Descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics is simple surface level type of analysis that looks at what has happened in the past. Diagnostic analytics. While descriptive analytics looks at what had happened, diagnostic analytics explores the why. When running diagnostic analytics, data analysts will first seek to identify anomalies within the data, that is, anything that cannot be explained by the data in front of them. Predictive analytics, just as the name suggests, predictive analytics tries to predict what is likely to happen in the future. This is where data analyst starts to come up with actionable data-driven insights that the company can use to inform their next steps. Prescriptive analytics advises on the actions and decisions that should be taken. So let's look at the data analytics tools. Data analysts are typically experienced to be proficient in softwares like Microsoft Excel, SPSS, statistical package for the social sciences, and in some cases querying and programming languages like R, SQL, and Python. Let's now explore 24 data analysis tools in Microsoft Excel.